Hello from Buckingham Palace. My name is Komla Dumont. We are just hours away from witnessing the pageantry, the pomp and circumstance of the wedding between Prince William and Catherine Middleton. Thousands are gathering here outside the palace to soak up the atmosphere and to cheer on the future king and queen after their marriage ceremony at Westminster Abbey just 6 hours from now. The expectation seems to grow with every passing hour, as do the crowds who spent sleepless nights nervous and excited about today's events. And what about the couple themselves? They've spent the night apart before becoming husband and wife, and the journey for Catherine Middleton from commoner to princess will be complete. Our royal correspondent Daniela Ralph begins our coverage.
Together for almost 10 years, a relationship conducted for much of the time in private. But today, Prince William and Kate Middleton will emerge onto the grandest of public stages as husband and wife and as future king and queen. Most grooms don't spend the night before their wedding like this. For Prince William, an impromptu walkabout with his brother outside Clarence House, to the amazement of thousands gathered on the Mall. The brothers spent around 15 minutes among the crowds. Prince William appeared genuinely at ease, no obvious sign of wedding nerves.
He came over, shook our hands, gave us a few words.
Yeah, he just came out of Clarence House to kind of see everyone.
They just said a really nice hi, nice to meet you, so glad you guys are out tonight.
Less than a mile away, his bride arrived at the Goring Hotel with her mother and sister, where she will spend her last night as a single woman. The welcome she received, a taster of what's ahead as a member of the royal family. Earlier, the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh hosted a drinks and dinner for foreign royals who are in London for the wedding. The groom's father, Prince Charles, and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, were here briefly, but left early to spend time with Prince William. The Prince of Wales had also met a number of Commonwealth leaders, here ahead of his son's big day.
There's a real connection between Prince William and New Zealand, and so a lot of Kiwis will have a heightened interest as a result of that. And I mean, you know, Kate is a very beautiful young princess and is going to be, you know, a great asset to the royal family and great queen one day.
The last-minute preparations have revolved around the rehearsals at Westminster Abbey. Kate's final visit before she walks down the aisle, a chance to practice with her young team of bridesmaids and pages. While the bride's dress remains the wedding's best-kept secret, the groom's outfit has been revealed. Prince William will wear the scarlet tunic of the Irish Guards, of which he is colonel. But he's currently serving in the Royal Air Force, so will wear his RAF wings to reflect that.
3 cheers to Will and Kate! Hip hip!
The Abbey is now ready for its 16th royal wedding, a place inevitably filled with mixed emotions for Prince William. Here, as a teenager, he was at his mother's funeral. Today he will marry, with Diana's family watching alongside. There remains 2 significant pieces of information surrounding the wedding that we don't yet know. The couple may be given a new title by the Queen later this morning. And of course, at 11, we will finally see that wedding dress. Daniela Ralph, BBC News.
Now, the crowds behind me have not slept all night. They come from all corners of the globe, and from young ages upwards, it really underlines the appeal of this event. My colleague Daniel Butcher is among the crowds on the Mall. Daniel, what's happening there?
Well, it's beginning to get a bit busier now. That's partly because people are waking up, those that have managed to get any sleep here at all tonight. It has been quite noisy. If you look across the street here, both sides of the Mall and all along the procession, the same picture. There are people that have been camping out overnight, setting up tents, sleeping on mattresses, some just bedding down on blankets. So all the way along this stretch here, 5 or 6 deep, people are now queuing up, more people arriving the whole time. Some have actually been here for longer than just tonight. You, I believe, from Minnesota, you've been here, what, since yesterday morning?
Since yesterday morning, about 8:30 we got here.
And how are you coping?
It's been very cold, but it's been just a joy. This is exactly what I expected, and that's exactly what I've been getting.
You haven't been getting much sleep, though?
Not much sleep, but that's okay. I'm prepared for the day, and it's going to be great.
Prepared and dressed for the day. You have the hat on already?
I have the hat on already. I have a change of clothes. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it or not, but...
Now, I understand a lot of you didn't actually know each other before you came here. You've now teamed up really here, waiting for the procession.
Yes, absolutely. I came in on my own, and these kind people let me stay with them because I was on my own, and it's been absolutely amazing.
You have a special letter with you. Just explain what that's about.
It's just a simple thing, really, but it means a lot to me because I sent a poem and a card when Catherine and William got engaged, and I had a lovely letter back from the palace, which I will hand on to my granddaughter.
That's something you're keeping with you today.
Absolutely.
And some people, of course, further up the Mall outside Clarence House got a surprise yesterday evening when Prince William actually came out and spoke to people, shook hands, posed for photographs.
Absolutely. We thought of going down there, but I guessed it was going to be more packed down there. And I was here for the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee, and I knew it would be better here anyway, more chance of a good spot.
And you've come all the way from Spain?
Yes, actually, yes, southern Spain, Costa del Sol. Originally from Plymouth. And I'm here with my sister Lorraine and my daughter Charlotte.
And still smiling?
Absolutely. What a joy to be able to be...
This is why I was
yeah.
glad to be...
Okay.
What a joy to be part of a true moment in history, living history.
Now, the streets here will be closed very shortly, and then everybody will be kept behind these barriers, but more people arriving the whole time. Others will be able to view on two big screens in Hyde Park and Trafalgar Square.
Thanks very much, Daniel. Now, of course, people here are waiting for that moment, that special moment when there is the kiss. That's what people have been waiting for. Right there on that balcony, right there at Buckingham Palace, people are waiting. An estimated 500,000 people will be gathered here to see the first time they kiss as husband and wife. But the ceremony itself is a little distance away from here. It's about a mile away at Westminster Abbey, where Gabriel Gates' house is right now, and I can imagine the crowds there are waiting, and a lot of talk probably about the dress, Gabriel.
Well, that's right. The crowds here, extraordinarily enough, are already, we're still, more than 5 hours away from the start of the ceremony. The crowds are already pushing forward towards the barriers just below where I'm standing here. I don't think you can see them in shot. In contrast to some of the heartwarming exchanges that we heard from Daniel and friendships springing up on the Mall, I've been hearing some rather bad-tempered exchanges actually down here with people saying, stop pushing, I was here first. But generally, pretty calm atmosphere and people just waiting really to see when that whole ceremony is going to get underway. People will start arriving from about 8:15, about 3 hours from now, and then of course the crucial big moment here will be just before 11 when Kate Middleton arrives in her car, and people here will be the first to catch a glimpse of that much talked about dress.
Thanks very much. But of course, this hasn't been without controversy as well. The issues of who's on the guest list and who isn't on the guest list, and some of the names that are actually conspicuous by their absence. Well, let's go now and find out what's going on with that particular issue. We're going to go to Mike Sargent, who's at Whitehall, the center of British government, to talk about that a bit. Give us a sense of the buzz.
Yes, indeed, this is a guest list that raised a few eyebrows in some circles, although the government all along saying that it was a matter for the royal family, it was a matter for the couple themselves to decide who to invite, and of course, protocol. So on these occasions, you would expect that any country that had normal diplomatic relations with Britain would be invited to the wedding, and among the 1,900 guests in the Abbey, 50 heads of state, 200 other diplomats and officials, representatives from North Korea, Zimbabwe, on the list. But of course, the focus, the crisis in the Middle East and the protests in Syria and the reports that 400 protesters killed in Syria in recent days. And that's why the focus was on the invitation given to the Syrian ambassador, which yesterday was withdrawn because the Foreign Office decided it would be unacceptable. That is a view that Buckingham Palace then agreed with. He said he was a bit embarrassed by that. The ambassador said he was embarrassed by that, but all sides didn't want anything further to overshadow the big day.
All right. Well, let me just quickly throw this one to you, Mike. If you are still with us, Now, the former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, and the other former Prime Minister, Tony Blair, are also absent from this very special occasion, absent from the wedding ceremony. How are they explaining that?
Yes, that's right. Well, again, they say, well, it's a matter for the royal family and for the couple themselves to decide who is on the guest list. But David Cameron, the current Prime Minister, will be there, of course, as you would expect, as will former Conservative Prime Minister John Major. But as you say, absent from the list, Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, two former Labour Prime Ministers. Now, neither palace officials nor those in government are keen to make any kind of political point about any of this. And indeed, Gordon Brown and Tony Blair both issued statements yesterday saying that they were very relaxed about not being invited to the wedding, and they both wished the couple every happiness and success on the day. So although some, particularly in the Labour Party, wondered why two such prominent politicians and two such prominent former prime ministers were not on the list, the two men themselves have tried to play it all down.
Well, thanks very much, Mike. Now, while London is the focal point of today's celebrations, the long-awaited wedding has also been causing excitement elsewhere in the UK and indeed around the world, as Andy Moore has been finding out.
On French TV, a lookalike couple have been promoting the big day.
We are Kate and William, and you can watch our wedding on eTele.
Some of the countries that got rid of their monarchies a while ago have been most enthusiastic in their coverage. This was Russian television. In this New York store, the shelves are full of comic book superheroes. And now there's a new dynamic duo, William and Kate.
Honestly, when I saw it, I started laughing, and I couldn't help not pick it up and kind of check it out.
These troops taking part in the ceremony are just back from foreign duty. There have been messages of support from their colleagues still out in Afghanistan.
Good luck, Wills and Kate, on your big day.
I hope the weather is as good back in the UK as it is here in Afghanistan.
The weather was certainly good at Somerton in Somerset for this recreation of the royal wedding with local schoolchildren. There were plenty of dignitaries from overseas. Prince William was a little nervous.
You sure you're doing the right thing here?
I don't know. I'll find out afterwards.
For richer, for poorer.
But the ceremony passed off without a hitch. A good omen, perhaps. Andy Moore, BBC News.
And don't forget, you can find complete coverage of the royal wedding on our website. There you'll find all the latest news and all the features, including a chance to take part in our guided tour of the route the couple will be traveling by that 1902 Landau carriage later today. You're watching BBC World News. There's still a lot to come here at Buckingham Palace. Today's royal wedding, including how millions in America are gearing up for a long night ahead in front of the television.